everybody, and welcome back to the vlog. So as you can see from the title, it is finally time to say goodbye to the first trimester, and let me tell you something, I am glad to do it. Listen, I am all about, don't complain, everything that we've been through, don't complain, celebrate your pregnancy, all this. But let me tell you something, that first trimester was hard. And honestly, the way that we ended up doing with the vlogs and everything, I'm actually glad that we did it. I think it benefits you guys more, because if we, by waiting to tell you guys until I was a little bit further into the pregnancy, because if we had did this like on time, y'all would not have seen videos from me for like a couple of months, because it was rough. And and that's not in a like I'm ungrateful kind of way, but it's in a it was rough. I mean, whether you waited, whether you didn't wait, it's rough. But there's a fine line between like being like, oh man, I'm sick, I'm sad about being sick, and being like, oh man, I wish I wasn't pregnant, so. But anyway, that's a conversation for another time. Right now, I am just so happy to finally be able to say I'm in my second trimester. I think like 14 weeks and 2 days or 3 days or something like that. I gotta check my little counter, but I am done with the first trimester. Now, I figured this was a good time to do a little bit of a recap of the first trimester, because like I said, I tried to make videos when I could, but before all of this, I thought I would do like weekly bump dates, like 5, 6, 7 weeks, woohoo. But let me tell you, I think after the first, like the 4th week or the 5th week, I got really sick in the 5th week. I think it was either in the 5th week or right before the 5th week started, and I could hardly get out of bed, let alone put on clothes and turn on the camera. Like, it was rough. So since I wasn't able to do that, I don't even know when the last update that I did was, so I said to myself, I'm just gonna do a first trimester update recap and then try to hopefully start afresh in the second trimester. We will see how that works out for me. But basically, like I said, the first trimester for me with this pregnancy, oh my gosh, like I know in both of my other pregnancies I experienced, heartburn, maybe the occasional nausea. You guys, with this pregnancy, it was just like, for the first trimester, literally just nausea all day. And the thing about me is that I'm not somebody who can just throw up. Like, some people are like, I'm throwing up all the time. I'm not one of those people that just throws up. I throw up when I'm in a lot of pain. But I don't really throw up when I'm sick, unless I'm like really sick, like with a bug. So I'm literally just, but that's worse, because I'm literally just nauseous for hours, almost days on end. So I'm literally just laying in bed all day like this. I'm starving, like so hungry, but I can't make myself eat, because I know that anything that I think about makes me feel nauseous. Anything that I eat makes me feel nauseous, excuse me. So much gas, like, so not like, I mean both ends, but I'm really burpy, so y'all excuse me, but that's another symptom. Anyway, so I was just so sick, and it was like I said, I'm like so hungry, but I couldn't eat. And it's like, if I don't eat, then I'm nauseous, but then if I eat, I'm nauseous. It got to a certain point where I was nauseous before I ate, nauseous while I ate, nauseous after I ate, just laying down and just being sad. So when you're pregnant, there's some things that you can do. My doctor told me I could take some milligrams or whatever of Unisom and B6. I mean, I took it like when it was really bad, but the thing about it is that it didn't actually take away the nausea. Like, it really just made me sleepy. Unisom is like one of those sleepy types of medications, so I don't really think that it actually took away the nausea. I think it just put me to sleep so that I wouldn't recognize the nausea, or so that I wouldn't mind it, because when I woke up I was normal, I was nauseous. So I don't know that it actually took away the nausea, but it just made me sleepy, and I would go to sleep and then I would wake up and I would be nauseous again. So I still took it. I tried, let me tell you guys something. So y'all know I was ready. I went and I got me some Preggy Pops. Well, I didn't go. I ordered them on Amazon, and I had them send it to me, and I was so excited. I was like, man, I'm gonna beat this nausea before it even starts. I got this when I was like 4 weeks. I was like, I'm ready. You guys, the Preggy Pops, which mind you are candies that are specifically for pregnancy nausea, made me nauseous. Then when I went to my nurse, she was like, yeah, it's probably the sweetness. You'll notice that sweet foods make you nauseous more often, and that is so true, because guess what else, you guys? I couldn't have my popsicles anymore, and y'all know I was loving me some popsicles before all this. Like, I would have like 3, 4, 5 of the little bomb pops like every day. Like, I did not care. Couldn't even have my popsicles. Those made me nauseous. If you know me, you know that when I drink my water, I like to have my water with lemons in it, you know, like, ooh, lemon water. Couldn't have lemon water. Lemon's not even sweet, it's sour, but I just made me nauseous. There were more foods that made me nauseous than that made me feel better. You know, it was just crackers and rice, and after a while, even those, you're like, listen, I need some meat. I don't know, listen, this baby inside of me is a baby. This baby inside of me wants food, wants meat, does not want to eat rice all day. So I'm nauseous, and then my stomach is growling. Like, I was telling my husband, because like I said, I would eat some rice, because white rice, like plain rice, it didn't make me feel better per se, but it was one of the things that I could get down. But literally, I would eat it, and like 20 minutes later, my stomach is like growling, like this baby wants food. So it was rough. Like, oh my gosh. So that's probably the biggest symptom that I had, and it's a good thing too, because, you know, at least I'm still pregnant. You know, because especially during the first trimester, it's difficult because you're not really showing yet, and nobody really knows that you're pregnant unless you like tell them, or like, I like to wear my pregnancy shirts. I don't know if y'all can see, I messed it up. This one says preggers. I got it on Amazon. So, you know, nobody really knows that you're pregnant in the first trimester unless you're showing symptoms. Most of the time, you don't even know you're pregnant unless you're showing symptoms. So, you know, the symptoms are good because I know that I'm pregnant, but boy, were they rough. Also, tiredness. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm tired. I mean, I know I'm tired because of the pregnancy, because I would like do whatever and I would be super tired. But the tiredness just kind of faded in with the whole like laying down from nausea. So I literally would be like laying down like all day. And you know, the fact that I'm still home from COVID and everything is actually been a blessing, because if I was like this and I was going to work, I would be mad. So I'm actually really glad that they sent us home, and they don't need to bring me back anytime soon, and it don't look like they are. So that's been a lifesaver. Nausea, tiredness, fatigue, I guess is the proper word for it. Gassiness, like all over, like burping, and like, especially when you're nauseous, you're literally like burping up air, like all the time, like burping all day. I started getting not shortness of breath, but like whenever I would do anything, like I will go down or up the stairs, because our room is upstairs and the kitchen is downstairs, and I would be winded. like almost like I need to exercise, but it's really just like me being pregnant, and everything is stretching and growing and everything. So I'm literally like walking. Me and Darrell went to go somewhere, and we were talking to somebody, and I'm literally talking like this. Like trying to catch my breath. So I get out of breath. I get out of breath really easy, and that's something that has progressed into the second trimester. Honestly, the nausea has kind of like, it hasn't gone away all the way. Check back with me around like 15, 16 weeks, you know, a little bit further into the second trimester. But anyway, I'll do a second trimester update later on. But anyway, so the shortness of breath is something that's most likely going to proceed throughout the rest of my pregnancy, because baby's just going to keep growing and pushing my lungs up into my chest. So definite shortness of breath. Oh, another like semi-big symptom for me, and I had this in my last pregnancy, is my husband calls them the pregnancy sniffles. I don't know what it is, but when I'm pregnant, that's literally how we knew the second time, because I was just sick. And I was like, I told the doctor, I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't have a temperature. I'm just snotting. I'm like extra congested and you know, blowing my nose, and like, what's going on? So literally, in the technical term for it is pregnancy congestion. I am literally like produce, I guess your body produces extra mucus or whatever, and it gets all like loose up there because of all the extra blood flow. The technical parts of it, don't ask me, ask a doctor. But all I know is that I'm producing so much extra snot, and I'm like blowing my nose all day. And then you know what happens when your nose is like congested and you don't blow your nose, then I start sneezing, and then this is all happening in the midst of corona, and nobody can tell that I'm pregnant, so they literally just think I'm just some person walking around sick and sneezing and blowing my nose, and they're like, you have the rona, and I'm like, no, I'm just pregnant. I had to start like wearing my pregnancy shirt so that people would realize that this is stuff that is happening because there's a baby inside of me making it happen. It is not corona. My temperature is fine. I don't have any of those little COVID symptoms. I just have the pregnancy sniffles. And even my nurse was looking at me funny when I said it. She was like, do you have corona? No, ma'am, I don't have corona. So if you experience this when you're pregnant, it is a completely normal thing, because people kept looking at me like I'm crazy because we're in the midst of COVID. But it literally popped up on my app one week when it was talking about the symptoms I might experience. It was like, you might have pregnancy congestion, and I was like, see, this is a thing. So that's a big thing for me. Everything else is just kind of like, I don't want to call it minor per se, but like it's minor enough that I'm not really thinking about it right now. Like, I think about it as I go. Something will happen and I'm just like, oh, that's just because I have a baby inside of me sucking up all my nutrients and whatnot. But for the most part, the biggest thing about this first trimester for me has been that sickness. You know, when people ask how I've been sick. And then also that coupled with having to hide the pregnancy for the majority of the first trimester has been like, which it makes it a little bit easier because of COVID, because nobody expects me to be outside anyway. But so not like it's hard to avoid people in times like this. But you know, when you do talk to people, you just want to like scream it from the rooftop. So I had to like stop talking to people. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm just hoping that the second trimester will give me that energy that they say that you get in the second trimester, the golden trimester, when I'll get my bump and I'll be all like glowing and whatnot and woohoo. Hopefully that'll happen. Hopefully the nausea will just disappear and I'll get my appetite back. Oh, that's another thing, food aversions. So on top of being nauseous, then whenever I would get an appetite, I would have food aversions, which basically means that nothing sounds good to eat. Everything sounds like, ew, this is gonna make me sick, this is nasty, I don't want this. Like, you know, I just couldn't win, y'all. So that's another one. But hopefully the second trimester I will be eating and not sick. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk to y'all all day. I'm call it pregnancy rambling. No, I'm playing. I'm not gonna talk to y'all all day. Hopefully I will be updating you guys soon and a lot more often with this trimester, as long as my body allows me to, as long as my baby allows me to. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Just remember, y'all, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good, and Lord willing, I will see y'all next time.